Are you wondering what's going on with all of the audience targeting inside of Facebook? Let's talk about that. Hi, I'm Bonnie from Finding Your Indie, and we're actually going to be talking about what is going on with the ad set audience targeting inside of Facebook today and the ways that you can get around it. Now, we have talked a lot about audience targeting and stuff inside of our audience courses that we have. We also talk about this a lot in Hive Mind. I want you guys to pay attention to what we're going to be talking about, because if it hasn't hit your account yet, it will. And here is why. First, let's talk about what it is. Then we're going to talk about why it is. And then we're going to talk about the things that you can do to get around it and to still have good targeting for your ads, okay? First of all, one of the things that I don't love about Facebook lately is the changes that they're making. They think that the changes that they're making are helpful when they're not. Historical fiction, for instance. We are inside of a historical fiction, historical romance ad account right now. And one of the things that we're dealing with is where you can see this, where it says, choose an alternative. The Queen, which is a film, and it is actually more narrative fiction than it is biographical, is actually being shoved into biographical film or movies for the options, when in fact, it is terrific for historical romance targeting. So there is a lot of issues here where Facebook is not really addressing some things. Here's what I think is going to happen. And this has been proven in ways past, okay? So what they have done previously is they have changed audience interests, and they've been like, oh, this is no longer available. But then it secretly comes back a couple months later. We saw that happen with Jaff, and we saw that happen a lot with like some Vampire Diaries targeting and stuff that was going on with that situation. They disappeared and then they came back. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens when Facebook starts to see that their changes and their suggested groupings are not working for people like they want. The people who pay the bills are the people who pay for the ads and pay for the targeting. So I think this is going to be really, really interesting to see how this plays out. However, we can't change it now, and we have ads to run now. So right now, Facebook is making changes to their audience targeting, to all of their things, because they are getting ready for Q4. Remember, most changes don't happen in Q4 because that is the biggest advertising quarter of the year, and Facebook knows this. So the changes that they make to their algorithms, to their targeting, to their setups, to their layouts, to everything happen usually at the end of Q2 and the middle and throughout Q3, let's be honest. But usually the differences are in play by then. I've seen a lot of people say, oh, all of this will be rolling out, you'll have it by Q1 of 2026, which is totally possible. But usually Facebook makes sure that the majority of their changes are in place before Q4 begins, because like I said, that's where they get the most money. Now, it looks like with the grouping of the interests and stuff that they're doing inside of the categories, the reason that Facebook is doing this is because they're really trying to lean us towards the AI audiences. Now, I don't hate the AI audiences, but again, I don't love them. I do not believe in giving full control of your targeting to the ad platform that you're trying to spend money with. Okay, I just don't believe in it. I don't agree with it. I do believe in some targeting contribution, as well as maybe like if my Facebook page is targeted very well with engagement and actually targeted, and it is branded, and the messaging and everything that goes out does fit what it is that you're doing with your brand, I do believe that this can be a really good situation for you. Again, though, I don't believe in just letting it go off and letting AI choose the audience. It can be successful, and I have seen it be very successful with some people, but other people, not so much. So it's something you are going to need to test with your own ad account, okay, and your own pages. A lot of testing needs to happen. I talk about this and how to use your attribution links in other videos, and how to test and how to see what audiences are working for you, what images, what creatives, all the things, okay? So there's ways that you can test and do these things. Now, what I'm going to show you what's happening and then how to get around it with your Facebook targeting. So as you can see in here, I'm inside of a Jaff account, and we are doing some targeting for historical romance. This is actually a series that is actually not Jaff, but it is a historical romance. So we're going to be actually looking at this and figuring out what it is that we want to do with the targeting, okay? So as you can see, a standard audience that I usually use has like Becoming Jane, Diana Gabaldon, which you can't target anymore. According to Facebook, inside of this, because this has been rolling out not in every single account yet, but inside of specific accounts. In fact, this account hadn't been touched as of last Friday, but now it's Monday and this change has been rolled out. So this is where I'm just telling you guys just to kind of keep track of what's going on. You'll start noticing that you're going to start getting notifications that such and such ad set targeting has been changed. This is okay. There's ways around it. So let's talk about what's going on. So Diana Gabaldon, for instance, it says your original option was this, but now they want you to pick the alternative option of the historical romance literature, which is fine. But Diana Gabaldon doesn't just write historical romance. She writes time travel romance. So does that mean that when I'm also trying to target time travel, I have to hit up historical romance? That doesn't make sense. So there's going to be a lot of things that come down in the alleyway that's going to be flooding down, and we're going to have to like really figure out what's going to work and which segmenting is going to be appropriate. So here we go. It has Jane Austen author. That is no longer an option. Again, she's being shoved into romance novels. This is where our tier system really can come in handy. Okay, look, here we have Outlander film. This one's being moved into science fiction movies. 3 different things that have nothing to do with each other, and yet they think Jane Austen should be shoved into romance. Okay, Emma's option is comedy movies. Oh my gosh. I am just astounded. How is that even? I don't think Emma's hilarious, but it is definitely a romance. So why isn't it moved into maybe romantic film? So this is something, or even rom-comedy films. Like this is something that is just does not make sense. Okay, TV fantasy shows for Outlander, when the Outlander film itself is in science fiction movies. Do you see how this could be a problem? So you really need to understand all of the portions of your targeting. So Rain series is TV period dramas. Freaking love. The Borgias TV period dramas. Okay, so TV period dramas. If you're looking at historical romances, you're going to probably want to grab up TV period drama. Like, let's see, The Crown has not been shoved into it because it's a big enough group, okay? Oh, for the love. The Queen, biographical film. I think we already saw that one. Okay, let's come down to Regency romance. Regency romance has now been moved into romance novels. Okay, I'm going to start throwing a fit. Now, but Bonnie, why would I not throw a fit? So first of all, I am going to go throw a fit because what the heck? And second, we can get around this. Notice how historical romance has not been changed, just Regency romance. So if I was going to come in and I want to target Regency, what I would do is I would make sure and hit historical romance. And then what it says up here is, and that's one whole other section, okay? That's a different interest. So it's going to be an and situation, not an or situation. So in here, they're like, oh, Outlander is no longer included in this. So if I wanted to, I could take Outlander film. The option is science fiction movies, cross it with historical romance. So it would be science fiction movies and historical fiction. And then I would do like a Kindle read, okay? And you can take it even further and really like niche this out, but you have to identify what it is. So don't just be like, oh yeah, update all. Go and see where they are placing your favorite targeting options and where they're putting them in. This is your alternative option. Like, it's an alternative option. It's not the best option, but there are ways that you can exclude and include and target and define tighter. Some of these they haven't taken. Like, for instance, they haven't taken women's fiction, drama fiction. Of course they wouldn't. Those are big. But like this one, The Crown, that one hasn't been touched. The Great British Bake Off, that one hasn't been touched. And that one does work very well for Jaff Film. So The Tudors, for instance, The Tudors at 6 to 7 million hasn't been touched, whereas The Queen did, and she had 3 to 4 million. So again, guys, if you see this notification inside your account, do not just go and click this button right here. Update all. Don't do that. You really want to make sure that you understand where your targeting audiences, your targeting interests have been placed and where they're suggesting that you go instead. BookBub retailer, now you need to be shoved into the book selling retailer option. So there is a lot of things that are coming down in the railworks that you need to be paying attention to. Let's say I did this as a 2-tier. And I have all of my audiences picked out and I'm like, gosh, this is still too big of an audience. It's too broad. How do I figure out where to target what I'm going to do next? Remember, your page needs to be active. It needs to be very, very active. And the second thing is that you really need to be making sure is on par is the messaging of your ads. The messaging of your ads needs to be on par. So you need to be clear. This is a Jaff rewrite. This is a historical romance. It needs to be as clear as possible so it's hitting the correct people and so that Facebook can pull out the necessary information that it needs to hit those searches and to be targeting the correct people. This is a lot, and I know this can be really frustrating. It is very frustrating. I run a lot of ads for people. I'm looking at about a $3 million ad spend a month right now across e-commerce sites that I run ads for, as well as authors. And this is one of the most frustrating things that an ad platform can do. Not that they care, because they just want your money and they really want to push their AI targeting because, of course, this does put more money in their pocket. But I want you to keep in mind that you still can control what is going on. You still can help it be funneled towards the correct direction of where to target your audience, okay? It's all about testing. It's all about staying on top of what's going on in your accounts. If you do have somebody who is running your ads, hopefully they're staying on top of the audience targeting as well as the messaging, because that's really important to keep straight. If your messaging in your ads does not match or does not lead to a similar experience that the landing page message is trying to deliver, you are not going to have successful ads as it is, okay? So as that's just something, there's a lot of things in here to keep in mind. I am huge on messaging and huge on audience understanding. If you do not know those two things, it really doesn't matter what happens inside of Facebook targeting and the Facebook interests and stuff. It doesn't matter because you don't know who you're supposed to be targeting anyway. I should be able to look at your ad and say, oh yeah, that's for these people, or oh yeah, this is for those readers, or this is for that shopper. I should literally be able to see your ad and tell you what the problem is. And usually I can do that. If not, I'm like, let me see your audience. And I can usually tell you that ad, that landing page, and that audience do not jive. So I really think that you should take a look at what is going on inside of your audience targeting and see if you have any of these changes. Let me know if it has hit your account yet or not. You will know based on the things that you see inside of your audience activity, okay? Okay, that was a lot, but I think you need to know what's happening. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe for more updates and let us know if you have any questions. Come and check out Hive Mind. We're going to be at this price for probably the next month, and then we're going to start going up because it does offer a lot of value. And the Hive Mind members that are actually doing the things that we're coaching them to do are seeing significant changes. And that's what this is all about, right? So come on in, join us, take a look at what we've got going on. And guys, keep an eye on who you are paying your money to. You are paying money to Facebook. You need to make sure that you understand the tools that you are using in there, okay?